The internet is ablaze tonight, and the drama is darker than anyone could have predicted. Reality TV's self-styled queen, Natalie Nunn, has allegedly unleashed the most explosive receipts of her career. Viral reports suggest that Natalie leaked what she claims are Chrisean Rock's falsified medical documents regarding baby Junior. That's right, these are not genuine records, but allegedly forged papers purporting to show that Junior suffers from serious disabilities. If even a fraction of this is true, the fallout could be catastrophic. Did Chrisean truly fabricate her own child's medical records for sympathy, clout, or as a vendetta against Blueface? Or is this just another example of Natalie Nunn wielding chaos as a weapon, exploiting the most sensitive aspects of Chrisean's life to drag her through the mud? Fans are left in shock, struggling to process the gravity of the allegations. Some argue that Natalie is simply pulling back the curtain, revealing that Chrisean may have exaggerated baby Junior's struggles to cast Blueface in a villainous light. Others are outraged, condemning Natalie as heartless for weaponizing a child's health in her relentless pursuit of attention. But the deeper the story goes, the more dangerous it becomes. Insiders claim these leaks could jeopardize Chrisean's custody case, spark legal fallout, and even uncover a network of betrayal within her inner circle. And the cliffhanger here? It promises to leave viewers utterly speechless. When it comes to reality TV chaos, few figures rival Natalie Nunn. From her early explosive appearances on Bad Girls Club to her rise as a producer behind some of Zeus Network's most viral content, Natalie has built her career on stirring drama. She thrives on conflict, lives to expose secrets, and has no hesitation crossing boundaries to stay relevant. Then there is Chrisean Rock, hip-hop's unpredictable wild card, Blueface on-again, off-again partner, and a magnet for raw, unfiltered drama. In just a few short years, she transformed from an underdog with a viral toothless smile into one of the most talked about women in the industry. Every fight, breakdown, and scandal surrounding Chrisean became instant internet gold. It was only a matter of time before these two volatile personalities collided. Their feud did not start with baby Junior, it began with baddies. As executive producer, Natalie saw Chrisean as both a ratings boon and a potential headache. On set, tension was constant. Natalie craved control. Chrisean demanded freedom. The outcome? Explosive confrontations, screaming matches, and TV moments so intense they blurred the line between entertainment and real animosity. Multiple cast members have claimed that Natalie's envy of Chrisean's rising star fueled the chaos. Fans tuned in for Chrisean, not Natalie, the younger star's raw emotion, unpredictability, and unapologetic energy delivered everything viewers craved. Natalie, once hailed as Zeus Network's reigning queen, suddenly found herself in Chrisean's shadow. So when rumors about baby Junior's health began circulating online, Natalie saw an opportunity. Chrisean had already gone viral for her emotional confession, claiming that stress and abuse from Blueface during her pregnancy may have contributed to JR's condition. Fans were torn, some sympathized, others accused her of exaggerating. It was a story fraught with emotion, sensitivity, and high stakes, the kind that could destroy reputations or elicit endless public sympathy. Enter Natalie Nunn. According to insiders, she had been quietly collecting private screenshots and files from people close to Chrisean. These sources claimed Natalie gained access to what appeared to be medical documents. When Natalie released them online, she framed the narrative as a shocking exposé, alleging that Chrisean had fabricated JR's medical reports to manipulate fans, weaponize her child against Blueface, and elicit sympathy. The internet erupted. Some immediately sided with Natalie, commenting, "We knew Chrisean was messy enough to fake this." Others were horrified, condemning Natalie for exploiting a child's supposed disability for clout. The fact that these documents were allegedly medical records, intensely private, sensitive, and personal, made the outrage even more intense. But the backstory is crucial. Natalie and Chrisean's feud has always been deeply personal. On Baddies, Natalie openly mocked Chrisean's emotional breakdowns, labeling her unprofessional and unstable. Chrisean fired back, accusing Natalie of being fake, controlling, and desperate to maintain relevance. Each encounter between them escalated into chaos, screaming matches that went viral, backstage fights, and endless social media shade. So when Natalie dropped these alleged medical documents, fans did not see it as random drama. They recognized it as the latest move in a long, combustible rivalry, a personal vendetta wrapped in a public spectacle. Fans saw Natalie's move as the ultimate act of revenge, but the stakes are terrifyingly high. If the documents are real, Chrisean's reputation could be irreparably damaged for allegedly lying about her child's health. But if they are forged, Natalie Nunn could have crossed a line so severe it risks her career and could even land her in legal trouble. This is no ordinary reality TV feud. At its core, this battle is about trust, privacy, and betrayal on a deeply personal level. Fans are demanding answers. Are the documents authentic? Who provided them to Natalie? And why would she involve a baby in her conflict with Chrisean? With Natalie, nothing is accidental. Every move is calculated. By releasing these files, she either genuinely believes she is exposing the truth about Chrisean or possesses something so explosive that she is willing to risk everything to humiliate her. Insiders claim this leak may only be the opening salvo. More documents, receipts, and potentially shocking evidence are rumored to be locked in Natalie's vault, setting the stage for a scandal dark enough to shatter Chrisean's image, ignite legal battles, and pull Blueface, Zeus Network, and even child protection authorities into the chaos. The first twist arrived almost immediately. Within hours of the leak, fans began spotting flaws in Natalie's evidence. Screenshots of JR's supposed disability records spread across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok like wildfire. Headlines screamed, "Natalie Nunn accuses Chrisean Rock of faking baby's disability records," and shocking medical files leak sparks chaos between Chrisean and Natalie. Questions swirled. Did Chrisean really forge her child's reports? True to form, Natalie showed no hesitation, dropping the allegations and letting the internet decide, ensuring the drama exploded far beyond any reality show script. Natalie doubled down on her accusations in her Instagram captions. In one story, she declared, "Y'all been feeling sorry for her, but the truth always comes out. Ain't nothing wrong with that baby. She's been faking documents for sympathy, period." The response was immediate and explosive. Fans swarmed her comments, demanding evidence, context, and a shred of compassion. Some sided with her, insisting, "Natalie has always been messy, but she's telling the truth this time." Others condemned her, asking how anyone could exploit a child's health for clout. But just hours later, cracks in Natalie's story began to appear. Internet sleuths, the same fans who dissect every celebrity drama pixel by pixel, analyzed the leaked medical report. Their discoveries sent shockwaves across social media. The font was inconsistent with standard hospital documentation. Dates conflicted. One line read 2024, another 2025, and even the watermark looked suspicious, as if hastily photoshopped. A Twitter thread meticulously outlining these discrepancies went viral almost overnight. Headlines read, "Natalie's receipts don't add up, potential fake exposed," and "Date mismatches and Photoshop errors suggest forged medical report." Within hours, the narrative flipped. Fans who had previously blamed Chrisean for allegedly fabricating records now turned on Natalie, accusing her of being the one who faked the documents. The conversation had shifted entirely, and Natalie's credibility suddenly hung in the balance. Then the first major twist hit. Just hours after the viral thread dissecting Natalie's alleged documents, Chrisean went live, barefaced, her voice shaking with a mix of anger and heartbreak. Cradling baby Junior, she shouted into the camera, "How dare you, Natalie? You really going to put fake papers online about my son? You crossed the line. This isn't baddies anymore. This is real life. You want to fight me? Fine. But don't ever use my baby as a storyline. You're sick." The live stream instantly broke the internet. Clips of Chrisean yelling, tears streaking her face, spread like wildfire. In one tender moment, she kissed JR's forehead, whispering, "Mama got you. They can't play with you like this." Fans were visibly moved, many reduced to tears across TikTok. Natalie, of course, fired back with a cryptic, shady Instagram post. A hit dog will holler. If you mad, it's because I touched a nerve. Don't act brand new. But the backlash had already begun. Fans, bloggers, and even celebrities turned against her. Summer Walker tweeted, "This is nasty. Babies are off limits. Period." Cardi B liked a comment saying, "Natalie doesn't realize she just ended her own career messing with a child's name." Mika Kisha, never one to hold back, added, "Fake docs, girl? This isn't even believable. You're reaching." Behind the scenes, Zeus Network, the platform Natalie calls home, was reportedly scrambling. An insider told a blog that producers feared the legal fallout of posting alleged medical files. If fake, it's slander. If real, it could be a privacy violation. Either way, it was a disaster. And then another bombshell dropped. A new leak suggested the documents may not have even come from Chrisean. Alleged screenshots of DMs between Natalie and a Zeus staffer surfaced, showing her pressuring the insider. "I need something, too. Expose her. Fans are turning on me. Give me what you got." The story shifted again, now hinting that the leak may have been orchestrated from within the network itself, deepening the scandal and magnifying the fallout. The files were not just floating around the internet. According to insiders, a staffer allegedly slipped them to Natalie while pretending they were anonymous. If that detail is true, it changes everything. Natalie had not stumbled across fake paperwork by accident. She had engineered an entire smear operation, relying on her own connections to fuel it. The fallout was instant. Social media erupted, with the hashtag Natalie lied rocketing to the top of Twitter trends. Memes of her clutching a printer or editing on Photoshop spread everywhere. Suddenly, the narrative flipped on its head. Natalie was no longer exposing Chrisean, she was exposing herself. But the fire only burned hotter. Late that same night, a new video surfaced, an alleged phone call where a woman, whose voice sounded strikingly like Natalie, was heard laughing and bragging about the leak. In the clip, the voice said, "I don't even care if it's real. It's about making her look crazy." The fans eat it up every time. That line sent shockwaves online. If the recording was authentic, it proved that Natalie's mission was not about truth but humiliation, an attempt to paint Chrisean as unstable, damage her image as a mother, and pull the spotlight back toward herself. The consequences came crashing down. Bloggers demanded that Zeus remove Natalie from its platform, while furious fans began calling for boycotts. Meanwhile, Chrisean hinted publicly that she was preparing legal action. Her final words during a live stream left viewers stunned. "Natalie, you just declared war. And I promise, you will regret ever dragging my child into this." What began as a scheme to brand Chrisean a liar had spiraled into a full-scale war filled with fake leaks, legal threats, and a network suddenly caught in the middle. And just when it seemed the situation could not escalate further, insiders whispered that the leaks were far from over. Natalie was not the only one holding files. Chrisean had her own arsenal, and the drops she was preparing could end Natalie's career for good. Natalie might have thought she silenced Chrisean with that leak, but within 24 hours, Chrisean struck back. Her counterattack was not just fiery words, it was raw, shocking, and powerful enough to send fans reeling and Natalie scrambling for cover. She came back ready for battle, holding her own evidence. This time when she went live, baby Junior rested in her arms, but the tears were gone. Instead, anger burned in her eyes as she stared straight into the camera. In her hands was a thick stack of papers, official medical records. She lifted them up and declared, "These are my son's real documents. Look closely, the hospital stamp is right here, the signatures are here, the dates are all clear. There is nothing fake about my child's condition. Natalie, you crossed the line with this one." To invent lies about a child's health is wicked, and Chrisean made sure the world knew it. She promised to drag Natalie's name the same way hers had been dragged. The internet exploded. Screenshots of the paperwork spread instantly, with fans zooming in to inspect every stamp and signature. Unlike Natalie's sloppy leak, Chrisean's documents checked out. The hospital's letterhead traced back to an actual Baltimore facility, The formatting matched perfectly, and the dates lined up exactly with baby JR's medical history. Even the harshest doubters admitted these records looked solid. But Chrisean was not stopping there. Midway through the live, she pulled out her phone and hit play on a recorded call. The voice on the other end, one fan swore belonged to a Zeus production assistant, was apologizing. "I told Natalie not to post that. It wasn't verified. She begged for gossip, and I didn't realize she'd take it this far." That clip set the crowd on fire. If authentic, it proved Natalie had not uncovered anything real. She had fabricated a scandal by using unconfirmed files. Twitter turned savage overnight, uniting behind a single trending tag, #NatalieExposed. But the fallout did not stop with her. As the live spread across platforms, Zeus Network itself came under fire. Viewers demanded answers, calling out the company for allowing Natalie's antics to go unchecked. Some insisted she should be removed from her executive producer role, while others accused Zeus of intentionally letting her stir chaos just to boost ratings. The drama had officially left the cast and landed on the network's doorstep. The drama took a darker turn when a gossip outlet leaked what appeared to be internal emails between Natalie and Zeus executives. In the messages, Natalie allegedly complained, "Chrisean's sympathy arc is stealing the spotlight. We need to shut that down. Send me whatever files you can dig up." The response from a Zeus higher-up was just as unsettling, "Handle it carefully. A lawsuit could ruin us if this blows back." If authentic, these emails suggested Natalie's actions were not simply driven by personal rivalry, but supported by the very network that profits from the chaos. The revelation sent the internet into overdrive. Hashtags like #CancelZeus flooded timelines as people accused the platform of exploiting not only Chrisean, but also her child, for drama and views. Celebrities quickly weighed in. Cardi B blasted on a repost, "That's disgusting. Babies ain't pawns." Summer Walker echoed the outrage, "I told y'all Natalie's obsessed with being the queen. This just proves it." Tokyo Tony raged on live, calling Zeus out for pimping these girls' pain for clout. Natalie, unwilling to let the backlash snowball, clapped back on Instagram stories. "Y'all really think I'd fake documents? Chrisean lying like always. She's using her baby for attention and y'all buying it." But this time, her words fell flat. Public opinion had shifted, and for the first time in years, Natalie looked cornered, stripped of control, her credibility unraveling. Then came Chrisean's decisive strike. She shared screenshots of her private text exchange with Natalie, allegedly showing Natalie begging her weeks earlier to reconcile for the sake of boosting TV ratings. Chrisean refused, replying, "You ain't using me or my baby for your clout." Natalie's supposed comeback was chilling, "Then don't cry when I show the world who you really are." The leak stunned fans, sealing what many saw as the final blow in the feud. The situation could not have been clearer. Natalie never exposed Chrisean, she only threatened her. Then came the twist. Just after the clip went viral, Chrisean fired off a cryptic tweet, "Y'all ain't ready for what I got next. I'm taking Natalie down with facts, not fakes. Stay tuned." That single post shook the internet. What could she possibly have that carried more weight than leaked medical files, voice recordings, and private texts? Was Chrisean preparing to pull the curtain back on Zeus itself? Or was she holding something so personal about Natalie that it could end her dominance for good? Suddenly, this was not just a battle between two women. It had escalated into Chrisean versus the entire machine that stood behind Natalie. If her promised receipts turned out to be authentic, the ripple effects could topple reputations, dismantle careers, and drag whole networks into the fire. Within minutes of her warning tweet, timelines exploded. #NatalieExposed climbed to the #1 trend on Twitter, while hashtags like #PrayForJ and #CancelZeus quickly followed. The audience was no longer passively scrolling, they were organizing. Fans launched massive threads, breaking down every detail like digital detectives. One viral post screamed, "Natalie forged documents." Zeus covered it. Chrisean's about to drop the bomb. This is the fall of an empire in real time. Another argued back, "Chrisean lies for sport. Stop letting her manipulate y'all. JR is fine." The division was brutal. Team Natalie versus Team Chrisean. Arguments raged, complete with slowed-down video clips, screenshot comparisons, and endless breakdowns. Instagram blogs jumped on the frenzy. The Shade Room posted side-by-side images of Chrisean's alleged real papers against Natalie's leak with the caption, "Receipts or reality TV?" Fans divided. Hollywood Unlocked leaned into the Zeus scandal, hinting that Natalie's leak had corporate approval. On-Site took a different route, pushing the narrative that Chrisean exaggerated JR's condition for clout. The comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Thousands flooded in, trading insults, dissecting evidence, and dragging anyone who dared voice an opinion. Even celebrities got pulled into the storm. When Blueface dropped his 2 cents, the chaos only escalated, fueling an already raging digital wildfire. On his Instagram story, he typed out, "Chrisean so dramatic. Nobody cares about those papers. Natalie just proving what I've been saying, she's delusional." The response was immediate and brutal. Supporters tore into him, accusing him of teaming up with Natalie just to break Chrisean down even more. One fan snapped back, pointing out how twisted it was to call her delusional while she was the one caring for his disabled child alone, labeling it peak gaslighting. Another blasted him for siding with Natalie over his own child's mother, calling it trash behavior. But instead of stepping back, Blueface doubled down. He went live, chuckling into the camera, and mocked viewers, saying, "If y'all really think my son got something wrong with him, y'all stupid. Y'all actually believing her lies." That one broadcast was enough to crown him the most hated man on Twitter for 2 days straight. The hashtag Bluefacioustrash spread across social media like wildfire, with fans accusing him of weaponizing his child's health struggles to humiliate Chrisean. What shocked many was that even those who normally mocked Chrisean took her side this time. People agreed she might act out, but no parent deserves to see their child ridiculed. That was the line nobody wanted crossed. Industry voices quickly joined the conversation. On The Breakfast Club, Charlemagne the God slammed the situation, calling out Natalie for allegedly leaking fake medical documents and blasting Blueface for laughing about it. "Zeus turning trauma into a soap opera is disgusting," he said, warning that at some point, someone needed to intervene. Joe Budden echoed similar thoughts on his podcast, suggesting Zeus might have orchestrated the chaos from the start. "Y'all don't think this was planned?" They probably told Natalie, "Go stir it up." But once a child gets dragged in, the game is over. Reality stars soon jumped in, splitting the community further. Tommy Lee raged on live, insisting Natalie had always been shady and that forging documents was not surprising. But fans were caught off guard when Chrissy Marsh from Baddies East sided with Natalie, arguing that Chrisean lied too often and Natalie was simply pulling the curtain back. This division among Zeus stars only deepened the scandal, fueling rumors of a potential mutiny, some cast members leaning toward Chrisean, others backing Natalie. Then came the twist that shook everything. An anonymous Twitter account, claiming to be connected to Zeus, dropped a thread alleging they had seen internal memos. According to them, Natalie had acted on her own, and Zeus executives were scrambling in emergency meetings. The thread claimed lawyers were even considering cutting ties with Natalie altogether to protect the network. Suddenly, the feud was no longer just Natalie versus Chrisean, it was Natalie versus Zeus itself. Fans went into frenzy. One viral post declared, "If Zeus fires Natalie, Chrisean wins without even releasing her final receipts." Another said, "Imagine Baddies without Natalie. Ratings will sink, Zeus might collapse." What had started as messy gossip had now evolved into a cultural moment. Twitter Spaces with thousands of listeners dissected every angle of the drama for hours, turning the scandal into an event bigger than the show itself. The feud exploded across TikTok, pulling in millions of views as creators dissected every twist. Even major outlets like Complex and the Daily Mail latched onto the drama, fueling the storm. Opinions clashed from every corner, but one thing unified the chaos. Everyone was waiting for Chrisean to deliver the final proof she had promised. The suspense was unbearable. Natalie's camp scrambled to contain the damage while Chrisean hinted that she was holding evidence powerful enough to end careers. Behind the scenes, Blueface buried himself deeper in controversy, and whispers spread that Zeus executives were locked in heated debates. Should they stand with Natalie, protect Blueface, or abandon them both? Then, at the height of the frenzy, Chrisean dropped a cryptic Instagram story that froze the industry. Tomorrow noon. No more games. The countdown gripped the internet. As the clock struck 12 o'clock, over 400,000 people refreshed Chrisean's page in unison, waiting. Finally, a video appeared. Its title was simple but menacing: The Truth About Junior. The footage opened with Chrisean clutching a thick folder, her eyes red from tears, her voice breaking with fury. "Natalie, you thought you destroyed me," she said. "No. Today, I'm ending you." Page by page, she revealed evidence: medical documents, emails, text exchanges, and most shocking of all, a recorded call allegedly between Natalie Nunn and a Zeus producer. In the audio, Natalie's voice could be heard instructing, "Leak the fake reports." "It's the only way to keep Chrisean in line. Don't worry, Zeus will cover us." The internet erupted. If true, this was not just messy reality TV drama, it was evidence of a calculated scheme, suggesting Zeus and Natalie conspired to fabricate false medical records about a child for the sake of ratings. With anger boiling over, Chrisean's grief turned to rage as she shouted through tears, "You played with my baby's life. You forged his health, his name, his future, for clout. And Blue, you stood by while they mocked your own son. You disgust me. This is far from over." Within minutes, hashtags like #ZeusIsDone dominated Twitter worldwide, signaling that this scandal had crossed a line no one could ignore. TikTok exploded with millions of views dissecting the feud, and soon major outlets like the Daily Mail and Complex were covering it, fueling the storm as anticipation grew for Chrisean's long-promised final evidence. Pressure mounted, Natalie's camp scrambled, Zeus executives argued over whether to stand by her or cut ties, and Blueface only worsened the chaos with his own actions. Then, Chrisean broke the silence with a chilling Instagram story: "Tomorrow noon, no more games." At exactly 12 o'clock, over 400,000 people refreshed her page in suspense until a single video dropped titled "The Truth About Junior." In it, Chrisean, eyes swollen from tears, voice shaking with fury, unveiled a thick folder filled with medical records, emails, texts, and even a recorded call allegedly capturing Natalie conspiring with a Zeus producer to leak the fake reports, in order to control Chrisean, promising the network would back them up. The revelation was explosive, hinting at fabricated medical records of a child for ratings, a move that crossed from petty feuding into alleged criminal territory. Fighting through rage, Chrisean screamed into the camera that Natalie and Zeus had played with her baby's life and future, while Blueface stood by in silence, mocking his own son, before vowing it was far from over. Within minutes, Twitter erupted into chaos, with #ZeusIsDone trending worldwide. Natalie Nunn thought she could bury Chrisean Rock by flashing what she insisted were falsified medical papers, but instead, she may have sparked the collapse of her own brand and even put the future of Zeus in jeopardy. The real question now is, what comes next? Will Chrisean drop the rest of her receipts and put the final nail in Natalie's coffin, or will Zeus clap back with their own leaks that twist the narrative and paint Chrisean as the one in the wrong? And where does Blueface fit in? Has he been sitting back waiting to drop his own revelation, or has he already been caught up in the scheme from the start? One thing is clear, tonight's madness was only the opening round of a much bigger war. Now it is your turn to weigh in. Was Natalie truly behind those forged reports? Or did Chrisean just save her son's name while still holding back an even darker truth? And do you believe this could be the scandal that finally forces Zeus to crumble? Share your thoughts below, because this saga is moving quickly, and your perspective could be the one that nails the next twist. Hit that like button if you believe Chrisean deserves justice, and subscribe because the next chapter in this fight is coming fast. This is no longer just Natalie versus Chrisean. It is about the survival of reality television as we know it. Stay locked in.